Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Mike. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments. So many of you have subscribed and leave great comments. And for those that don't know, because we always have people that are watching this for the first time, this week is my final, not my final ever, but it's the final week of the season for the Worcester Red Sox. I'm one of their radio and TV broadcasters. I will put a bow on 29 years as a professional radio and TV broadcaster. I've never done a big league regular season game, but I have 29 years in the minor leagues. And that comes to an end this week. But, right as I hit the camera app and hit record, I saw the news about Robert Redford. And I immediately go to my childhood and seeing The Natural with my dad when I was in Little League. I believe, I was in Little League. And that movie on screen looking larger than life. It's emotional in many ways. And Robert Redford, to me, is what personifies Hollywood. He looks like Hollywood, doesn't he? That's what actors look like. Amazing career. Always seemed really nice. I obviously never met him. His interviews and all that, but truly iconic. But it's pretty remarkable because, I always grew up. Baseball was everything to me. And when I saw that movie, it was just incredible. And I never would have thought then that I'd be working in baseball. And the funny thing about that is that over the years, and once I got into baseball, I met one of the extras, Duke McGuire, who was one of the broadcasters for the Buffalo Bisons. He was in that movie because they shot the baseball scenes in the old Buffalo Memorial Field. And I've learned, so I've learned a lot about, and I've been to Buffalo. I've worked in the new ballpark. I haven't seen the old one, but it's kind of interesting on once you get into baseball and then you learn things about it. And then Glenn Close married a guy from Maine. And when I worked for the Sea Dogs, she was at a game. And I got to meet her and immediately talked about, of course, The Natural. So I got to meet her, but not Robert Redford. And she had just amazing things to say about him, about how kind he was. I remember all that. But it's really interesting how certain things, people, even who you didn't meet, they can make a lasting impression on you. I'm sure Robert Redford knows that. But it would have been great to have a conversation and say, hey, listen, I'm a minor league broadcaster. And your movie, when I was in Little League, just intensified that feeling about how much I love the game even more. It's just interesting. It's interesting how people can have a lasting impression of you forever, even that you didn't meet. And this won't be a lot of Red Sox stuff today because I had some things I wanted to get. Nelson Cruz came out and talked about how Mark Teixeira was not nice to him when he was coming through. I'll tell you a little story about Nelson Cruz. In 2003, I worked for the Kane County Cougars. Look this up. I was with Nelson Cruz. He wasn't a prospect either. He was looked upon as maybe a fifth outfielder. He had an unbelievable season. And I will tell you this thing about Nelson. One of the best guys I've ever met. When I saw his tweet and his interview, I immediately was able to go back 22 years and remember being with him and how awesome he was to me, to his teammates, to the staff. Always smiled, always asked how you were doing. He'd always put his arm around you. So when I hear that someone wasn't nice to him, and many of you could say, well, you don't really, you didn't know the guy. Well, I spent a whole year with him and never heard a bad thing. But again, a lasting impression. And I was disappointed to see that. I don't know Mark Teixeira, but a lasting impression that Teixeira had on Cruz. Life's interesting, man. It really is. I've met broadcasters now who said that I helped them with advice 20 years ago. And what if I was not nice to them? Now, it's interesting. Pay it forward, be nice. It's free. It's easy to be nice. We need more of that in this world. But those are my thoughts for today. We'll get to more Red Sox stuff tomorrow, I promise you. I hope you enjoyed this 5-minute update. Have yourself a great day.